hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's your week been?
It has been pretty busy, but it's been okay. I'm just glad the work week is almost over. Just one more day and then the weekend. Yes. How about
Right,
you?
right. Well, I don't even know the days, so I'm just glad to make it to where I made it to right now.
No, trust me, I understand that. Yes. If you don't know the days, it's okay.
Yeah. Story of my life.
Girl, I'm telling you. But it's okay. We got through this week so far, so we're almost at the
And that's all that matters.
Yes, that's all
That's all
that
that matters,
matters. And so
We did what
and
we could do.
yes, exactly, and God got us through, so that's all that matters. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about our unique journey from girl to womanhood. And also we'll mention like the lessons we learned the hard way or, just lessons in general.
Yeah.
This
Because
is a
everyone has their own ways of how they come into their adulthoodness. And
yes, most
did
definitely.
I
And
just make up a word, adulthoodness?
adultness, hey, you guys, that's a new word.
Yeah, it's a new word, we're,
You know,
trendsetters here.
we have our own new words. It's okay. It's our lingo.
Yeah, but
But
no, but everyone has their own way of how they come into maturity in general. And so
yes,
I know ours is unique and it's unique, but at the same time it's very similar.
yes, which is
So
crazy.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's just get into it. Let's just
Yes,
get
let's
into it.
get into it because so the thing is from being into like girl to womanhood, it does like basically it shapes us to who we are now. And so with this topic, it is going to be very interesting for you guys to hear our like mini stories of how we became a girl to a woman or to the woman we are today. One of the major topics is our dating life. So, do you want to start off?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely. Because I feel like dating in general is literally just how a lot of people are shaped. Like you can literally go majority of your teens or whatever, but
Mm,
until you start like really dating and like just going into that different path, you're
yes.
not necessarily really growing in a sense because you're it's all like me and then you have family too and everything, but when you start introducing your life to with another person, things change. Ooh, like dating in general. um I know we both got started fairly later
Yes.
compared to like the people we hung out with and everything at the time.
Yes.
um but like me personally, I started in like late high school. I want to say mid late high school. I mean, I didn't really have much to go by. But like I got started later because I mean, I don't know. I think it was the actual pool that was available to, and it's just, like if I am to be completely honest, like guys were not looking. And I wasn't really looking either, I guess. I was just like, "Oh, wish I could have like a boyfriend." But then it wasn't like really wanting a boyfriend for a companion. It was just because everybody else did.
Yep, I can relate. And I understand with that too cuz even with me, well I started late. But growing up, I mean, we all had I know you too. We all had crushes. Like when you see your friends like other people or other people like people, you start wanting to follow the trend, I guess you can call it. And at first I didn't care at first, but then later on I was like, okay, since they have a boyfriend, it would be nice to have one too. But like you again, what you were saying at the time, I mean, nobody was really looking.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it's like, what do you do? I
No,
mean, like times are so different now, but like back
exactly.
then, literally, like dating was so much simpler, I want to say. It was
It
like
was.
literally just the holding hands, I'll meet
They're
you
so
after
cute.
class.
The
Like it was,
note.
yeah, oh my gosh, the notes.
Yes, those are cute,
I
but
never
nobody
got
does that.
one, but they were so cute.
Me too. Me too. I always wanted one. Like I'll see my friends or other people get it, and I'm like, oh, I wish that was me.
I know,
But
but and then and later on we'll be discussing of like, the benefits of not starting early with dating, so
yes.
it's okay.
Yes, and it's okay because, like, with me, I didn't really start dating until I got, like maybe later in college because I was more into sports and I was always focused on school and sports. So I was always busy and too busy to even date at the time. And so my focus was just
Facts.
school and sports the whole time. And then like again, until I
Yeah.
got to like later in college when I kind of slowed down on sports. Well, I wasn't really doing sports, I was just working out. That's when I started to, date around, not having
Mhm.
like a specific like boyfriend yet, but just dating and actually getting the experience. Like I'm glad I got to focus through high school and everything. And then I'm glad I got to experience the
Yeah.
dating like in my early 20s.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that I started later too with dating
Mm.
because honestly, the way my attention span is, like, I I can barely manage having a whole bunch of friends at one time, to be honest.
Oh,
So having to factor in a whole like significant other,
it's a
like,
whole
especially because I mean, like, you want to give everyone the respect that they deserve because you want also the return back to you, right? So
exactly.
and so then I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, I have family, I have friends, I have school. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, and now significant other, it's like, it's
Yes.
like, oh,
It's a
and then
lot.
it's like, I'm like, I don't want to be too needy. I don't want them to be too needy. It's like, you don't really know what you want when you're young.
Yeah.
You're just going through the motions. You're not really paying attention
Mhm.
on what you're really liking in life. So
Mhm.
starting at the time we did, it was like a nice little warm up, I guess you can say. Like, would you say a warm up?
Yes.
Like, if we were to compare this to working out, it was a nice little warm up, okay?
Yes.
And if you don't warm up right, then you're gonna hurt yourself during the workout.
Exactly. I agree. Oh, that's a nice analogy. I like that. Okay.
And I just thought of that just now
I
too.
know.
I'm like, dang, that was
Okay.
good.
Yes.
But like, no, it makes so much sense because
Mhm.
you want to make sure that things go. I mean, things aren't going to go perfectly all the time,
Yeah.
and you're going to have some hiccups. And depending on who you are with, they may or they may not be, someone who's really for you. So
Mhm.
you have to really see what's out there and what's going on.
And I agree with that. And it's nothing wrong with waiting later in life. I mean, don't feel like you're behind because there's nothing wrong with that. And again, I'm glad that
Exactly.
I did wait later. And, I came across some good guys, some bad guys. And so I know that's
Yeah.
the next thing we'll get into is like the heartbreak.
Yeah, because and that's what I was getting ready to say because
Mhm.
with starting just dating period, whether you're early or later in life, like one thing I was not expecting was the heartbreak. Like I would see like people, just hurting and everything, but I was just like I never really factor that in because when you're so detached from a situation, then
Mhm.
you're not really factoring that in of like, oh yeah, that's gonna hurt. Like, or you're thinking like, oh, well, my situation's different. We're gonna be together for whatever. And
Mhm.
there's different levels of dating. There's people that are just dating casually. There's people that actually date to marry. And
Yep.
then there's just people that are just like wasting time. So me, I was brought up on dating to marry. So I just
Mhm.
really didn't see the point of dating super early because I'm like, I'm not getting married right now. Like, what is this, the
No.
1900s?
Exactly.
you know?
No.
So it's like, so yeah, that's what I was brought up on. So like, of course, your first boyfriend's not always gonna be your husband or,
Mhm.
vice versa of like your whatever. There's heartbreak that's in there.
Yeah.
And you really have to watch who you give your heart to.
Mhm. And I agree with that. And I agree because you got to be careful who you give your heart to because some people, like you said, are not dating with intention. They're just with you just to be
Yeah,
with you and don't
exactly.
even care about the long run.
Yeah, and then there's the whole maturity level thing because, men mature a little bit later than women. So
Yes.
it's like we could be on one certain path of like, okay, we want, structure, we want school, we want education, whatever. But at the time, they could be just trying to say, well, I'm just trying to run up the numbers of seeing who I can get and all that stuff. So it really depends. Like, you both have to be on that same level. And I think that's what you find out no matter who you're dating. It could be someone that is for you right now, or it could be someone that is like not necessarily going to be looking out for you. But
Right.
you find out real quick who is really there for you and who isn't. And
Exactly.
it just sucks because, even though there are flags that you can see, when you're in that goo goo gaga puppy love situation, you're not seeing that. You
No.
can have all the friends in the world that are over here telling you like, that might be a little red flag," but are you really listening? No, because this person makes your heart flutter. They they
Yes.
make your world
Yes.
brighter, the treasure at the end of the rainbow.
Exactly. And you can the list goes on.
Exactly. So it's like you're not gonna be listening. You're not gonna be paying attention
No.
to what your friends have to say. You're like, no, you had your time and now it's mine. So I need you to respect it. But then at the same time, it's like, well, shoot, I probably should have listened.
And that's where the whole point of the girl, the womanhood, like, when you're young, you're not really thinking about that. Like, you're just, like you said, puppy love, basically, in that young love phase. But I feel like the older you get, the more you actually see, "Okay, why did I waste my time with that person?" And you look more for quality and not quantity.
Yeah, and it all depends on what you give to that
Yeah,
person. Like, not just your heart, but, it depends on how far you go with that person.
that's
And
true.
that's depending on how far you go, it really factors in of how you may or may not get hurt. That's one thing 'cause, I mean, I had both parents, of course, and, same with you. And I would see how much my mom really, like, took care of my dad, and then I would
Mhm,
see how he would take care of her. And so
mhm,
with me seeing that, I think that's why I chose to date later in life, like, even though, yeah,
mhm,
people weren't looking at me at the time, but I also made that decision for myself to
mhm.
be later in life of dating because it's like, I want, like, something to mimic what they have. Not the exact same thing, but I want someone to respect me, I respect them, and just have, like, a nice just partnership. And
Exactly.
I just didn't see any of that when I was in school. Like, my thing was I did not wanna date anybody in high school, like, that went to my same school. Like, because
Yes,
it's just awkward. And then rumors get spread, like,
yes. Oh my
it's
gosh.
just it's annoying, and it's like, and then when guys get their feelings hurt, they really just go to the extreme, and they tell lies about you, and it's like, "Really?" And it's like, not only now do I have to avoid all these rumors that are happening and, like, having to debunk them, I have classes that I have to worry about and everything, and I couldn't stand school. So I didn't need any distraction to
Yes.
keep me away from school, okay? Like, literally, if I didn't have to go to school, I wouldn't.
To be
Like, I
honest.
probably could have been just fine if I was homeschooled, but that's a topic for a
Oh,
whole other
yes, yes, I understand that, trust me.
it teaches you about, your self-worth,
Mhm.
like, when you wait
Yep.
later. Because, I mean, what it taught me to know my value. It taught
Mhm,
me to, like, take my time and to see who I really wanted. The list for what I don't want was getting a lot more packed than the list of things that I did want. Because it's like I am who I am. And
yeah, yes.
and I feel if I'm gonna invest my time and effort in someone, I want them to be able to do the same.
Yep.
So, I would make a list, like, not necessarily write things down physically, but I would make a mental list of, like, "Okay, I don't really like that quality that this person has." So,
Mhm,
if it and I would never go into a situation where I would try and change someone. I
mhm.
would take them as who they are when they're showing their true colors. That's the best I think that's
Mm.
the best advice I can probably give someone, to be honest, like, when you're trying to date, like, no matter if you're young, old, or whatever, but literally when they show you their true colors, like,
Mhm,
listen, because people are gonna show you it's a facade when you first start, getting to know each other. Like, they're gonna show
mhm,
you their best selves. They're gonna be looking their best. You're gonna be seeing, like, a heightened version of them. But
mhm.
then later on as the relationship progresses, then that's when you see the true them.
Yes.
And you learn if that's someone that you really wanna spend your time with, and I think that's where a lot of people, like, fall into just negativity in that way because they're not seeing those red flags, or they're not seeing the true color that this person is showing. And so now you're, like, married for, like, 10
Mhm.
years or so, and you're like, "Who is this person?" And it's like you didn't take the time to actually see who that person really was because they were showing you this whole time. You
And I
literally
agree
have
with
to work
that.
together, and you should never get with someone. Yeah, you should never get with someone to try and change them. If you don't like them for who they are when you're with them, then why would you try and change who they are? Simple as
Exactly.
that.
And I agree with that. And that's the thing where people gotta look out for, it's called love bombing, where people will act a certain way in the beginning, and then later on, like, throughout the relationship, they change out of nowhere. And so you gotta watch out for people like that because they will do everything to get you, but once they get you, they don't care, and they don't do the same things like they used to. And I'm speaking from that from experience because I've been with somebody who I felt was love bombing. Basically, they got what they wanted and then just didn't do the same
And then
thing
they
like they
ghost you.
exactly, they didn't do the same thing and they
They
just ghost you, and
ghost
I'm
you.
just
Like,
like,
ugh.
"Wow," like, love bombing is dangerous because a lot of people go through that, and you just gotta be careful because you don't know it until you're actually in that relationship, and then you're far in it, and then it's like your feelings and everything, emotions is strong, but then that person, they got what they wanted, and then they don't care, and so they don't care about your feelings, and that's why that heartbreak, once you finally see what that is, it hurts because it's like, 1, you wasted time, 2, you gave somebody your all, and basically they drained everything out of you. So it's just like, that's not fair, and again, when you say with your self-worth, it makes you want to love yourself more because you look at everything that you've been through and you learn from it, but then now you'll evaluate everything now and be like, "I'm not gonna put myself through that again," because
Exactly.
we don't have time to
You're
waste.
creating yeah, and you're cr in that way, it helps you create boundaries because you've been through a
Mhm,
situation like that or something similar, and you would hope that things don't get to an extreme, but sometimes things get to an
mhm,
extreme, and if you don't and you really need to take time to space out in between partners, because
mhm.
if you're jumping from one relationship and straight into another one, then it literally is not leaving any room for growth.
Yes.
You're taking the pain and the toxicity from one, and you're
Mhm,
transferring that into the other, and that person
mhm.
doesn't deserve that.
Exactly, and I agree with that because that's not fair. Like,
It's
you
not.
you gotta give yourself healing, like, that healing, like, time before trying to jump into another relationship because you gotta be fair with other people and not bring that past trauma to your new relationship.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
in a way, when you take a break, like a healthy break, and when you take that, it helps you discover who you are. You find who you
Mhm,
are, and
mhm.
you have confidence because no matter how a relationship ends, you're going to lose some sort of confidence because you're gonna feel like, "Man, was I not good enough?" Or,
Right.
you're gonna ask those questions of what's going on, especially if you felt you gave your all, and then it
Mhm.
just ends, and you're like, "Where did we go wrong?" You know? So
Exactly.
it helps you build a confidence for the next person so you can bring your best self to somebody else.
I definitely agree, and
Yeah.
so that's why it's good to set boundaries now. And the older that I know I've gotten when I was going through my dating era and after, like, getting my first big heartbreak, I started to set a little more boundaries with, like, who wanted to talk to, especially when I want to look more for marriage and not just, like, to have fun. Like, of course, I had my fun times in my early 20s, but then when I got, like, later on, I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready to settle down and actually get serious with somebody." And it's good to just basically just set those boundaries so you can make sure you be with the right person and not be with that wrong person again and basically waste your time again with somebody.
Mhm. Yes, and you know what? This whole topic, it actually is leading us into our segment here
Yes.
of, basically what we would tell our younger selves because
My god.
we're well into our adulthood. We're at like
Mhm.
that nice age
Age.
to where
Yes.
we can give advice and it's
Yes.
like actually solid advice. And
Yes.
so a lot of times people ask you like, "Oh, like what would you tell your younger selves and everything?" And it's like when you're in your 20s, you don't know what you would tell your younger self. You're not thinking.
No.
But once you get to
No.
that maturity of like that 30 year and up, you're like, "Oh, I know exactly what I would tell my younger self," you know? So, You wanna start this off? What would you tell your younger self, Amia?
Ooh. So what would I tell younger Amia? So what the first thing I would tell myself is to first have a voice and don't let nobody walk over me because I know when I was younger, I'm still nice, but I'm more like, okay, I'm stern now, but when I was first younger, I was very nice and I basically was a pleaser, so I always wanted to make sure I made other people happy before myself. But not looking at it, I was letting people walk all over me. And so, of course, it took until I got a little older to realize that. But what I would tell that's the first thing I would tell my younger self, to have a voice and say like what I mean and don't let people walk over me. That's the first one. The second one
Yeah.
is just to be patient and trust my journey because I also used to always like want to rush things like relationships. When I used to play sports, I always wanted to rush and just try to basically skip the process. And so,
Mm.
what I would just say is just that you got to take your time and don't get upset, especially if you see other people ahead of you. Everybody's journey is different, and you just gotta slow and steady wins the race. You just gotta trust the journey and don't take like a shortcut because when you do that, it doesn't work out. It doesn't. And now I'm
At
talking from
all.
experience.
At all.
You just be
No,
patient
no,
with
for
your
sure, I feel you.
journey. And it's okay not another thing I would say, it's okay not to be perfect. Like, you gotta learn from your mistakes because that helps you mature to who you need to be in the future. Because if you don't make those mistakes, I mean, how would you learn? And how would you grow? And so that's another thing I would tell my younger self, like, just learn from your mistakes, and it's okay not to be that perfect person. Don't beat yourself up about it. And then my last thing, we talked about it earlier, but is know my self-worth. Like that's one big thing I wish I could tell my younger self is to know my self-worth and not to let nobody downplay who I am and talk down on me. And so all those things are creating me to the woman that I know I need to be. And I'm still learning now, but it has helped me throughout the time to where I am now and maturing to the woman I know. So when I could teach my daughter when she grows up that she won't make the same mistakes like I did. And so
Mm.
those are my main points of what I would tell my younger self. So how about you?
Um, Mine, so, like, I agree with how you were saying how you were, like, a people pleaser.
Mhm.
Um, I was definitely, like my younger me was definitely a almost pushover, but definitely, like, always wanting to just be liked and
Mm,
making sure everybody else is good and not necessarily making sure I was good. So, definitely I would say not don't follow the herd. Um, because not everybody has your best interests, whether it's friends, relationships, whatever. Like, just don't do what everybody else is doing. Like, literally move to the beat of your own drum. And just that's a great way how you can find yourself because when you're only going by what you allow for yourself to do and what you accept, then you're not allowing a whole bunch of other voices to taint your, your thought process and really like push you in the wrong direction. And timing is everything. Like, one thing, especially with us women, we can literally get into a time thing, whether it's time to have kids, time to get married,
mm,
time to have your degree, like whatever it is, we can literally get into a factor of being in a time warp. And we really need to take time against that, I guess you can say, and just know that whatever's meant to be will be, and our timing is everything. So, it's
mhm,
literally not our timing, it's really God's timing. That's how I take it, and that's what has helped me over the years of knowing that and believing in that because literally like I've reached a lot of great accomplishments in life, but it wasn't on the timetable that I was expecting or where my other friends were at. It came to me, but it just came at a time when I was most ready. I didn't know that I was that most ready for it, but that's when it happened. And when it does it like that, it's natural and it allows it to everything to work out so smoothly.
mhm,
And so I would say definitely like don't worry about time. Like, it's hard.
Mm,
I
yes.
know, cause like, if you're anything like me, your mind be going a mile a minute, and it's like, "Listen, you are stuck in the future, okay?" But
Mhm,
no, that is anxiety, that's not what we want. We want to be content with what's going on and just live in the present. And that's, like,
mhm,
a constant thing that I'm going through right now, is just living in the present, learning to be okay with being in the present. And, because rushing into things, it leads you straight to a path of failure. Like, there's
mm,
nothing good comes from rushing something. You're not
mhm,
thinking clearly, you're just doing what you feel is right at the time, and you're not allowing enough thought to go into it. And
mhm,
so that's what I have to say about that. And lastly, I would say when it comes to relationships, to not get serious until you have yourself together first.
mhm.
Because I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but honestly, like, you don't want anyone to waste your time, but yet you don't want to waste anyone else's time too. If you know you can't allow someone to reach their goals, or you get distracted or whatever, then you shouldn't waste anyone's time of trying to satisfy a whole other person when you know you're not going to be able to do it. And then at the same time, it allows you to get into a relationship stronger. So, I would say wait. I mean, you can date, you can, like, talk to people and everything, but as far as, like, really taking that plunge and getting serious with someone, I would say waiting. Like, please don't date for, like, 15 years and then get engaged and all that stuff for, like, 5, and then it's like, no, that's just having commitment issues.
Yes.
No, but, like, just wait. Like, if you're in school and say for instance, it's gonna take you, like, 2 years to get your degree or whatever,
Mhm,
or you're in a trade and it's gonna take you a certain amount of time. Wait until that time period is over and you're actually doing what you had set to do, and then at that time, whoever is there for you and whoever you're trying to entertain or whatever, then if it's trying to get serious, then okay, take it serious at that point. Like, okay, let's see, like, where are we going with this relationship? Because you'll be
mhm,
smarter. You'll be smarter. You'll be a lot smarter. You'll be more available, and you'll really get to know each other a lot better. So, definitely I say, like, not being serious until you have yourself together, because it's not always about what they can do for you of taking care of you or whatever. It's also what
mhm.
you bring to the table as well. They say relationships are like 50-50, but
Yep.
honestly, they're 100-100,
Yes.
because sometimes you're not going to have your whole 100, but if someone else is, like, supplementing for that,
Mhm.
then it makes sense. And that's just my take on it without having to get a whole bunch of math involved, because, I wasn't trying to go there. I was like, "Okay, we're getting to numbers, like, that's not my
Like,
strong
don't hurt their
suit."
heads now.
Girl, I know the glasses make me look studious, but it's
Look, okay.
they are fashion at this point, and so I can see, but
But no, I get what you mean. Like, yes, you shouldn't rush everything. Like, it takes time. It does take time,
it really does.
and
It
it's gonna
really
be worth
does,
it in
and,
the
like,
end.
yeah. It is. It's gonna be just right for you, and it'll be just right for both of you guys, and
Yes.
you guys will mesh together a lot better. And I feel
Yes.
like that makes relationships a lot stronger. Just
Yes.
not rushing.
You gotta build
So
first.
set the foundation first, and then
That's the
take it from
key.
there.
That is
Because if you have
definitely
a
the key.
strong foundation, no one can break you. No
Yes.
outsiders can break you
Mhm.
of, like,
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
Ooh, and also one thing, because I know we live in that time where social media is, everything. Like, social media can be great, but at the same time, it can be very,
Ooh.
so one last thing I would say, like, and I stand by this 100%, is
Mhm.
literally keep people out of your business.
Yes. Privacy is key.
Yes. Yes. No
Yes.
matter what. I know we have our girlfriends, the
Yeah.
guys have their guys and everything. Like, that's great. But honestly, if you are going through some, like, real stuff, you
Mhm.
don't necessarily have to tell everybody that, because because, like, here's an example. You have your significant other, you're mad at them, right? And so you go and you tell your girls, like, "Oh, I can't stand him. He does this." And now everything that he done that's negative, now you're telling them everything, right? So now they
Mhm.
have a mental complex about them, and they're like, "Shoot, I don't know if that's the right person for you." But now let's take it
Mhm.
this way. Okay, a couple of days go by. you and your significant other, y'all make up, so you're good. But
Right.
yet now your friends are over here wreaking havoc because it's like, he's not for you. What about all that negative stuff? And now you're trying to backtrack, like, oh no, I just said that
Mhm.
at the time because I was mad. But it's like,
Exactly. Nope.
mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you
Mm-mm.
would have kept them out of your business from the first place, then they wouldn't have known.
Exactly, and it's good to keep people out of your business because sometimes some people, even though some people might be your friends or family, you gotta be careful of what you tell them because some people don't wanna see you happy, so they might tell you some things to make things worse.
That part right there.
Yes.
People, not everybody wants to see you happy. That,
No.
oh my gosh, say it louder for the people in the
Whew.
back.
Yes, that's one
Oh
thing
my gosh, it's
that I
so real.
learned.
That is so real. And it could
Yes.
be your closest people too. Family,
Mhm.
friends, no one's off limits. Not
No.
everybody wants to see you happy. They don't want to see
No.
you excel. And it's like, and
Exactly.
sometimes people will show it to you, but then there's other times where people are like little snakes.
Yes. Yes, and I agree with that, and I was guilty, like, when I was younger, I used to post stuff on social media, like, just being, of
We
course,
all did, girl.
petty.
We all did.
Yes, but now the older I got, I'm like, "I'm not gonna post my whole life story because why do they
Yeah.
need to know?"
You just got to post just enough.
Yes, that's it. That's all you
Like
need.
if you want to post so bad, just post just enough. But literally, like the stuff that people got to get popcorn to to read your whole story and watch it play out and everything, like don't
Is
post
it
that.
No, don't, because 'cause you're just setting
Because
yourself up for
especially nowadays, like Facebook be giving you reminders, and the last
Yes.
thing you need is 10 years from now to get a reminder of all your dirty laundry, and it's like, "Dang,
That
that was a
was
little
me?
theatrical back then."
Oh, shoot, that was me, I posted that? Oops.
Facts. It's like, I'm like, I'd rather just have posts with me and my friends, like, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, we're hanging out, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, that's so
That's
much
okay,
healthier.
and that's all you
So much
need.
healthier.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is, like, a big topic, like, the stuff I see on social media when people post, like, their whole life story and everything, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dang, like, I don't
Yeah.
even know
And
you,
then
but now I know
yeah,
you."
and then they wanna, like, take it back and, like, delete it and everything. I was like,
It's
"Nah, I
too
already seen
late.
it.
It is
It's
too
I already
late.
seen it."
Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and it's like, ooh, it's slightly embarrassing, but it's like I know people have their outlets, and it's
Yeah.
nothing against what you have, how you express yourself. But I would
Yes.
just say a healthier way of expressing is always best, and it's not always best to do it online.
No.
Like, talk to someone that you can really trust
Mhm.
and, who's really going to give you solid advice, but
Mhm.
not necessarily someone who like, just anyone, you
No.
know? We all have enemies, we all have those who are, like, preying on our downfall, and the
Oh,
last thing you
yes.
wanna give them is more ammo
You don't wanna do that. You
at
don't.
all. At all, you really don't,
No.
and you don't want that for yourself, and you don't want
No.
that for, your significant other, because that's another thing. Like, what if you get with this billionaire or trillionaire, whatever
Yes.
you wanna call it, and now, because they gonna look you up, and they're gonna see if like, how you were and all that stuff, and all that stuff's just gonna populate. I mean, literally, we can go on and on
Mhm.
about what you should not do, but
Yes.
just to tie it all in,
Yes.
basically just what we said, just listen to us, besties, because
Please.
literally we're looking out for your best interest. Like we said, not everybody's looking out for your best interest, but we're not them. We literally like we do not have to know you. We do not
No.
have to be best friends with you or whatever, but the type of people that we are is really like we're genuine, you know?
Yes.
So it's like if we say it, then just know that you can trust us.
And we're just trying to help you guys out because we're speaking from experience too, so we just don't want you guys to go through the same things that we also went through as well, and so we're just trying to help you guys out. That's
Yeah,
all.
and just having a good, just positive person in your life is
Mhm.
literally,
Amazing.
it can go far. So,
Yes.
hopefully we can be that for you.
Yes,
And with that being
exactly.
said,
Yes.
besties, now it's your turn. If you're watching this, listening, however, um, if you can go back in time, would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your younger self?
Mhm.
And, just knowing what you know now, would you change anything from your past or would you keep everything the same? I feel like that's such a powerful question because it's like what would you do? Like, knowing what you know, like, everyone be like, "Oh, I would just, give myself $1,000,000, or I would tell myself to create this." And it's like, "No, no, no." Like, let's
No.
be real, like, really, really, really think about it. We told you our points. We told you our I'm drawing a blank here. We told you our what?
So we basically it's okay. It happens. So we basically told you our experiences. And
Yeah.
so like what you guys learned from listening to what how our experiences are were, we just want to hear from you guys like what your experience. Like we really want to just hear different sides of stories of like what you would tell your younger self. So we could just hear different people from different backgrounds just talk about their experiences.
Exactly. So yeah, please comment them. Put them in the comments below
Yes,
and let us
below,
know.
please.
We want to be able to chat with you guys too. We want to,
Yes.
be able to have a whole conversation, whether it is
Mhm,
online, whether it's in another episode that we feature. Like, we just
mhm.
want to be able to be communicative to everybody.
Exactly. If this episode did resonate with you guys any type of way, just please share it with another friend or
Yeah.
even family, anybody, because we want them to chat too. Like, we want them to also join this conversation with us. So we
Yeah.
would love to know like their opinions and everything. And
Yes,
so,
because
mhm,
it helps just knowing everybody's opinion too. Because
yeah,
I'm real curious, and and we will listen. We will read every comment. Like, I don't
yes,
care how many we get. We are literally going to sit there and we're going to read them all. And
yes.
we really want to hear your guys' opinions. We want to know what you guys are thinking. If you guys agree, you guys
Mhm.
disagree. Like, we want to know. Like, I don't care if it's a little bit dicey. It's a little,
Yeah.
we can take it.
Yes, we can definitely take it, and that's the whole thing. We just wanna engage with you guys because it makes it all fun, and, like I said, you guys are like, we're besties, you guys are our besties too, so we just wanna know what you guys think, and we do appreciate you guys for turning into this episode, and we do
Yeah,
appreciate your views and look forward with chatting with you guys soon, okay?
indubitably.
Okay, sis. Well, I do love you, and this
I love you
episode is
too.
done.
Bye.
A and A is out.